Shares of Adobe trading lower by almost 4%, despite the company's numbers beating on the top and bottom line in the third quarter. The fourth quarter sales outlook was in line with expectations. Some investors seem slightly disappointed the company's AI demand did not have a greater impact on forecasts, although sales forecast was above what analysts have been anticipating, depending on how you look at it. Here with more on the results and how the company's AI push will affect the bottom line is David Wadhwani, Adobe's president of its digital media business. David, it is great to see you. You guys have been up to a lot of interesting and exciting stuff with the launch and expansion of Firefly, which is your AI-backed product here. And I know you're talking about a lot of big numbers surrounding that. So give us the sort of big level view here on Firefly and on the expectations for that.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Julie. It was, I'd say in terms of orders of innovation, this has to be one of the biggest orders that we've ever delivered in terms of new product capabilities. We've delivered something called Adobe Firefly. Firefly is our family of basically foundation models for creative generation. So think of it as things like text to image, text to vector, ultimately including text to video, text to 3D, anything you can imagine dreaming up for what you want to do with media. Firefly is going to be the set of models that get you that. So we introduced that. We also integrated it deeply with our new product offerings like Adobe Express, but also with our flagship applications like Photoshop and Illustrator. And the response has been phenomenal. First of all, social was enormous for us. The capabilities went viral. We saw over 2 billion images generated in the first 6 months of the beta alone. And we also had 3 million downloads, over 3 million downloads of our flagship application betas, which we've never seen before. So community response has been amazing. And so that really set the foundation for everything we've been delivering. And it's worth noting that not only have we delivered these a few months ago in our beta, but a couple of days ago, we announced that all of this is now generally available. And it's just been great to see the response from our community.
And talk to us about how that is then going to translate into sales, right? You all, I believe, forecast sales in the fourth quarter of as much as $5 billion, helped in part by demand for this product, which is sort of still ramping up. As you said, it just became widely available. Right. Maybe the street was looking for a little bit more oomph from it at this point. I mean, as you know, expectations out there for anything attached to AI are so high at the moment.
Yeah, it's a very important thing for us to sort of establish is that, we introduced 5 new offerings yesterday, if you really take a step back in the last couple of days. First was Adobe Express with Firefly. And this is our all-in-one app for really anyone to be able to use the best of Adobe to create social content and output. We introduced Firefly as a web app as well. So if someone wants to have a playground for experimenting what's happening in AI, they can go use Firefly. Of course, our Creative Cloud applications are now generally available with Firefly as well. And we introduced something for generative called Gen Studio for enterprises that want to really supercharge their content supply chain. All of that is now in market. We also introduced a new pricing model for generative called generative credits for subscription users. And so this is all brand new. We launched it literally 2 days ago. And, Adobe's always been very disciplined in terms of how we think about the opportunities. We believe these are going to ramp over time. Our primary focus right now is proliferation of these products. We believe they are best in breed and they're here. We're not just talking about them. They're actually, people can go and use them today. And so we want to price it so that we get as many users in this as possible. We really believe in our mission of creativity for all. And that's going to really proliferate the top of funnel. And then what we have to do is the hard work over the next few years of driving the business and converting them and journeying them to more and more paid plans. And we really feel very strongly this is going to play out very favorably for Adobe. It's just going to play out over the course of the next couple of years.
One of the interesting questions I thought that was asked on your conference call was about margins at Adobe, that it's quite expensive to sort of gather and then process all of this AI feed data, right? Whether you're talking about images or all of the other things that are being fed into it. Can you give us a little more color as the analyst asked, on how you are able to maintain and grow the margins given those increasing costs, even with the prices going up for some of these products.
Yeah, at Adobe, we've always prided ourselves in the basic concept of growth and profitability. Like that's always been the core. At the beginning of this year, we had guided the street to the mid 44.5% margin. We've been beating that handily. Last quarter actually went over 46% margin, and that's because and this is despite all the innovation that we've been doing, and everyone can trust that we are investing very aggressively in developing these models and the inference it takes to actually run these models. And you saw how much usage these have gotten. So our focus continues to be to invest more. We think that there's going to be a lot of opportunity to build out models beyond imaging and vector, now going into video and 3D and more. And so the goal is going to be continue to invest there and try and really sort of maintain margins as we've always done in the mid 40s. And we believe we have this potential because we also see upside to everything we're investing in here. And we've always been very disciplined with how we think and plan, our years ahead. So we feel very good about the ability to maintain mid 40s margin while investing very heavily in AI.
David, forgive me, I don't know the answer to this, so that's what I'm going to ask you. I think of Adobe as a company that serves creatives in large part, and right now there is a big strike that is affecting creatives in a big industry, the Hollywood industry, and I just wonder if there's any feed through for you guys in terms of projects that are on hold right now, where perhaps at some stage of the making process, the Adobe tools would be used.
Yeah, I think the discussion and the discourse that's happening right now is a really important conversation for us to be having. One of the things that we've really tried to do is build everything we do in a creator-friendly way. Our customers are creative professionals, and we really and really everyone trying to express themselves creatively, even small business owners and individual solopreneurs and TikTok stars. So the goal for us is to create AI and leverage and build AI in a way that's really positive for creators. We believe that it's about doing it in a creator-friendly way where these tools take the creativity, take what's in their mind, and give them the ability to superpower what they do by maybe taking away some of the mundane work, but really leaving the creativity and the expression in the hands of creators. So that's why we launched Firefly the way we did. We did it with content that we know we have complete license rights to. 2 days ago, we actually paid all contributors for content that came into participating in the training of our models. We've been working with regulatory bodies in Europe and in the US to think about different ways that we can actually engage on regulation so that creators have the ability to really defend their styles and their content. And we've also introduced something called content credentials, so that if someone creates content that they don't want trained on, they can absolutely put in a do not train tag. And the whole idea here is AI has so much potential for good. We just need to introduce it in a way that is supportive of creators. And we believe very strongly that we're trying to get that balance, both in terms of what we do and how we work with regulators.
Yeah, obviously an enormous amount of attention on this. We had the meetings, of course, in Washington this week as well to focus on all of these thorny issues. On a related note, are you seeing any kind of slowdown in demand from the TV and movie business as a result of what's going on?
We as we mentioned in our last quarter, we're seeing broad-based demand for everything. So our metrics, when it comes to the creative business, continue to be very strong. And while I understand that there's some, that this is an issue that the broadcast and the video industry needs to work through, we have not seen any of that reflected in our numbers.
All right, good to know. David Wadhwani, thank you so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate it. Adobe President of the Digital Media Business. Take care.
Thank you, Julie.